Hi Cancerians, this is Merisha, Immature. Let's see what is your situation as of now and what you need to hear from me right now. Cancerians out there, Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus. What is it that you need to hear from me right now? Your first card is the Page of Wands. Alright. Ooh. Behind the deck, we've got the Knight of Pentacles. The card which I pulled out is the Ten of Swords. Things might have ended. Okay? Knight of Pentacles, again, this is an energy where nothing is happening. Things have slowed down. There is a delay or whatever. But with the first card is the Page of Wands. Someone could be waiting on a message. Is it waiting or the message has already come through? I don't know. I'm just going to clarify that. What do you want to tell me about the Page of Wands? Are you expecting a message after things came to a full stop? Or somebody sent you a message that we are done? Alright? Either of these. Page of Wands. What do you want to tell me about the Page of Wands? Because the Page of Wands is looking at the Knight of Pentacles, so it would mean waiting. Alright? See, Hangman is the first card which I pulled out, means, you're hanging there, you're waiting. That is a clarification. Queen of Cups is your energy. Cancerian or a Gemini energy. So you're waiting on this message. It's been a while, but still, you're waiting for, for things to heal or get back together, whatever the situation might be. So you're waiting on this message after things ended. Some of you might be dealing with a Gemini energy or a Leo or a Virgo energy. Moving on. Cancerians. Can we have the next card, please? This one. That is a double confirmation. Hangman again. So you're waiting. Knight of Wands. Earlier it was a Knight of Pentacles, Knight of Wands. You're waiting for things to move forward. Knight of Pentacles is the slowest moving knight in this deck. Knight of Wands is the fastest moving. Alright? It's like moving forward. So you're waiting for things to move forward. You're waiting for them to reach out. Behind the deck, we've got the King of Pentacles. This could be the person whom you're waiting on. Alright, an Aries or a Taurus person or somebody who is financially stable and secure. Alright, some of you might be dealing with a Sagittarius energy or a Scorpion energy. Cancerians, can we have the next card, please? Now, I don't know whether it's a relationship situation or something else. See, World card in the center of the reading speaks about transformation. Alright, behind the deck is the Ten of Cups, the happily ever after. From the Ten of Swords to the Ten of Cups. Alright, you want to get back together. You want to have this, happy times. Some of you might be dealing with a Pisces energy. So almost like you're wanting a second chance. Can we have the next card, please? Cancerians out there. Your next card is the Knight of Swords. You're losing your mind. Alright? The Hangman, along with the Knight of Swords. The waiting period, like, it's keeping you up in the night. Thinking about it. When will this happen? Will they come through? Will they, will I have a second chance? It's just keeping you up. Yeah, just trying to assess the situation is making you a little crazy. Losing your mind. Yeah, Four of Pentacles, you are sitting tight. You're wanting to hold on to this. You're not budging. But there is this energy of assessing the situation. The need to think about this. What are you waiting on? Okay, Hermit is somebody who goes within and asks yourself the questions. Even if it is the answers are not what you would like to hear. It's about time you assess the situation. Because going back to the Ten of Swords along with the Knight of Pentacles, you had been waiting for this for quite some time. Is it worth the wait? Ask yourself the question. Yeah? Because Hangman, you're just hanging in there. Is it worth waiting on whatever you're waiting on? All right? Or on the person, or it could be anything. All right? It could be a job situation. You're waiting for them to get back to you. But if it's taken so much time, you should know. Some of you might be dealing with a Gemini energy, a Virgo energy, or probably a Capricorn energy. Can we have the last card, please? Cancerians out there. Cancerians out there. Can we have the last card, please? This is a very short message, but it makes sense. All right, somebody needs to hear this. Moon card. The Empress. Behind the deck, we've got the High Priestess. 3 major arcanas. All right. So it's like there is something about, actually, there is multiple major arcanas on the table already in your spread as well. Hangman, the World card, the Moon card. Now the Empress along with the High Priestess. Hermit also came through. So it's like there is a need for you to... No. High Priestess along with the Moon card. There is something about being your intuition, all right? Usually, Cancerians are very intuitive. Most of the water signs are intuitive, all right? So your intuition is on point. But there is something about the Moon along with the High Priestess where I feel like your intuition is a little clouded. Okay? It's a little foggy. You're trusting yourself with the Empress along with the High Priestess. You're trusting this will happen. But will it really happen? Yeah, this is what you want. I was thinking about the Empress, all right? Maybe you want somebody, it could be a marriage situation, all right? You feel like you will be this person's Empress. All right, because earlier the King of Pentacles came through. I might be speaking to a woman out there. Or I could be speaking to a male as well, who might be thinking, this is the woman with whom I will get married, I will have children with. I'm just going to clarify the Moon card. So I feel like you're in the dark. Now, tell me about the Empress. What do you want to tell me about the Empress here? We're looking at the Page of Wands again, okay? And I did not pull out these cards, but Queen of Swords along with the Six of Cups. There is a need for you to come through as a queen, all right? Queen of Swords is somebody who's like the icy queen. You did come through as a Queen of Cups earlier, along with a Hangman. Like, your emotions are very invested into waiting on this to happen and all that. But there is something about the Queen of Swords. Don't think with your heart. Make your decision with your head. Be logical about it. Be practical about your whole situation. Okay? Yeah, Page of Swords. There's something about you behaving like the Page of Swords instead of the Queen of Swords. You know, this is a person who is immature, who is very defensive, adamant, you know, is not willing to listen. My ear is hurting, that makes sense with the High Priestess. You're not willing to listen to your higher sense or higher self. Because you really want this. So you are willing to wait as long as it takes because in your heart you feel like this is meant to happen. We are meant to be together, all right, with the Ten of Cups. But I don't think so. Do you want to give them an advice on this reading? Cancerians. Do you want to give them an advice? It might sound a little harsh, but you might be under some kind of an illusion. Alright, what is the advice for them right now? What is the advice for them right now? Looking at the Six of Wands, along with the Ten of Pentacles, and the Four of Wands. That is advice? What the fuck? The thing is, whatever I tell you, you're not going to trust me. You're not going to listen to me. The Emperor. Will this happen? Did you show me? Will this happen? Yeah, Page of Swords. No. You're adamant about this, alright? To your wands. The same energy which I'm getting from the Six of... The way they answered it is the way you are thinking. Alright? Because the High Priestess energy. So when I'm asking for an advice also, they're showing me your headspace. Six of Wands is a card of victory. It is a card for marriage as well. Ten of Pentacles is a future energy. You know, having the abundance, stability and security. It is again a marriage card. Four of Wands is again stability and security. It is a marriage. Three cards which speaks about marriage. Alright. Nine of Cups behind the deck speaks about a wish fulfillment. Alright. Behind the Nine of Cups is a magician's energy, which tells me you are manifesting this. Hook or crook, I'm going to make this happen. I broke the deck and we have the Emperor. So I might be speaking to an Emperor out there who is thinking about the Empress. I'm going to get married to her. So I was a little confused. All right, I get it when I'm reading, but when I'm showing you the cards, it might seem like I'm fuddled up. All right, I'm fumbling with the reading. So I took another deck and they're showing me the Page of Swords energy, which is what I spoke about. The Queen of Swords and the Page of Swords, which came out earlier. I showed you not thinking logically, you being a little immature and defensive. That is your energy. All right, Page of Swords. This is what you're adamant about. I will make this happen. I will get married to this person. That's it. I don't want to listen to you, Merisha, right now because you don't know what you're talking about. All right, that is a way. You're thinking you're heartbroken as well. I can sense that energy of you're at the crossroads, but you don't want to make that choice of moving on. All right, because you're still hurting. Okay, the decision you have to make is a little gray. I'm hearing gray. I don't know why, but it's like I spoke about. You're in the dark. Because the way you're thinking is you want to manifest this marriage. Okay, so going back to the Ten of Swords and the Knight of Pentacles as your first cards, it's like even if things have ended, you're still waiting as long as it takes because you believe this is meant to be. All right, this is for that person. All right, if this doesn't make sense, okay, who are you even talking about? I'm not waiting for anybody out there. This is not your reading. All right, the person who this reading is for will exactly know who you are because you're still waiting for them to reach out. You're still waiting to, get married with this person. That's the reading for, all right? And they're very adamant about this. I would ask you to fucking move on, okay? It's just not worth it. They want me to look at this card. Yes, this is the Three of Swords. It's behind the deck, all right? Three of Swords, which I spoke about. I can sense you are hurting. And that is why you're coming through as a Page of Swords. That's it. I wish you the very best. This is Merisha, your Immature. Until next time. Bye-bye.